Clubhouse was amazing in a way because I ended up, just as an example, like the Facebook thing is only a tiny small part of what I do, but I ended up speaking to the global head of the department that I have the agreement with, and like he followed me and I followed him, and like we were in rooms together and whatever. So it was like body of LinkedIn. It was like real world almost, real identity, real world in the very beginning. But then of course time went on. The sky was falling. It was lockdowns, vaccines, blah blah blah. And then we started to really. It was like high school, second year high school, third.
Like outright violations and being sexually harassed.
They've been sexually harassing people since I was a kid.
Oh, okay. So
it's
you
just
say
you go right off Eastern Parkway. So even when I was a little kid, we'd get on the train and we'd have to get off, get to the dollar cab, when I wasn't even supposed to be freaking like looking that way when they had the Labor Day parade. They was violating people, mother with their children. Like, they don't care.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it's gotten better, Dr. Goddess. Literally, I got my early.
I had to go up there, and that's when my daughter started school. So I used to stay, but I always got better because I go every year. I'm asking you.
So
you might have a different view of what.
Well, the truth is, I haven't been. I wasn't talking to that specifically earlier because we were talking about just the general culture. But so I haven't been to Eastern Parkway. I think the last time I went was probably around 2015. So I literally have not been in 10 years. So I wasn't. When I say got better, I wasn't even speaking to that alone. But I was using other examples too, and she brought up the Eastern Parkway. So what I was saying earlier, Patty, is that like for a large part of my early 20s, like even going out, even in cases where I didn't know these women, it's like I used to get the role of designated bodyguard to prevent some of the things that Dr. Goddess was talking about, like guys just grabbing girls and tops and all of that stuff. And I don't really, I still go out every once in a while, and I just don't see that happening the way that it used to back in the early 2000s. So that's what I was saying. I'm just extrapolating.
Yeah. Hello? Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me? No, I'm at home. Huh? I'm good. How are you doing? Oh, you got those the COVID-19 vaccine syndrome.
I would say 3-4 months. I've gotten sick at least like 3 or 4 times in 1 month.
Damn. Fucking look at your diet, like how much alcohol have you had to drink in 3 or 4 months? I had a gout flare up, that's because of my diet,
My diet's been actually very good, but I have been drinking a lot.
Yeah, well, it's not mineral water from the Swiss Alps.
I've also been swapping spit a lot.
Ooh, you got that. You got the whooping crane syndrome.
So,
yeah.
I'm swapping with, multiple girls, short time span too.
Yeah. That'll do it, man. Sit out in the sun, work on your diet, exercise. They say taking hot baths really improves your, immune system. So, I don't know, just gotta take better care of yourself.
Then I was thinking of going to King Spa.
Yeah, that place is freaking awesome.
Yeah. And how about you? How have you been?
Life is good. Just the life of a campaign congressman-elect.
Amazing. Did you end up having a gathering of tens of girls on your boat?
Wouldn't that have been awesome? No, I don't even, I gotta look at Hinge to see which profile that was that I was exchanging messages with, but no, it did not come to fruition. But I have had a good, past couple weeks down at the boat, but nothing to really, gossip about, just, hanging out, swimming, stretching, eating on my dime, but no love making to gossip about.
No love making? I bet a little bit.
Nothing. The Scarlet Pimpernel doesn't kiss and tell, and they seek him here, they seek him there. Those blasted French, they seek the Scarlet Pimpernel everywhere. So, nothing really new, man. Just, I gotta finish up this letter for work, and I'm gonna head to the gym in a little bit. What are you doing?
What letter?
This lawsuit complaint letter. They're asking for more details, so I have to actually pay for my old Gmail account to regain access so I can forward the emails, or I may just download the documents and not pay for it, but I have to provide receipts. They're asking for receipts.
And which lawsuit is this?
This is an EEO complaint of sexual harassment and discrimination. Excuse me?
Okay. This is the sexual harassment?
Yep, and workplace discrimination, toxic workplace, all kinds of complaints about, and it's interesting, it's like, I don't know what will happen with this, but we'll see. And then I also have to do some other stuff for Social Security. I have to file that appeal. And I got a lot of paperwork I gotta do. Still, it's just like everything's lingering.
Oh.
So, I don't know, everything's going and flowing, just gotta keep going. What's new? Are you like at home? Are you at the office?
Well, I'm at home today. It's the end of the quarter, so they want, sales to come through, and I've been working on this sale with 3M for months now, and I found out today that it's delayed by a few days, so it's not going to come until, what is it, Saturday?
Have you seen Andrew, the consummate gentleman?
Yes. I've seen him a couple times around here, but I was out last week with a girl in the Viagra Triangle and saw him with a girl too, so we passed each other.
Nice. Who was with the hotter chick?
They were comparable.
Comparable? But
Yeah.
one is authentic, one is paid for?
For, I mean, yeah, his was his standard Asian, and mine was a white girl
Nice.
that just moved here from Indianapolis.
Nice. Have you read the Tanya at all?
Not today. I should get on that.
What are you waiting for, bro? It's just waiting there for you to take in all that positive vibrations and infinite light.
Have you read it today?
Yeah, I did a Tanya room today for 10 minutes.
Nice.
And then I read this book about the arrest and imprisonment of Rabbi Zalman Rabbi Zalman from Liadi, who was like the father of Hasidism. And there's this one I read a really interesting page. It's like a document called like the Kotokoni or something. And it was a letter he issued to the Hasidim after he was released from prison about humility. It's really interesting. It's like the more you study Torah, the more humble you get.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's it. I'm headed to the gym, but let's go down to the boat, man. I'm telling you, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays there, everybody's in bikinis, and it's pretty cool, but, I can't find a buyer, so soon I'll be abandoning ship. I mean, we have till basically October 31st to enjoy it, and it's not costing me anything, so let's enjoy it.
Costing you anything?
I'm not paying them anymore. Like, I'm abandoning ship. Like, they're gonna auction the boat off at the end of the year. So, I'll strip it down and just leave it.
because you're not paying for the dock?
Yeah, I'm not paying for the slip.
And have they sent you letters regarding it?
They sent me an email saying you are now past due. You know, pay this amount to come to present to terms. I'm just like, nah.
But aren't they going to cut off your access to the gates and stuff?
I don't think so. I mean, I got the PIN code earlier in the season, so I think they're just gonna like send it to collections, and that's how they'll deal with it. And they'll seize the boat because like, I'm not gonna like put it anywhere. I mean, yeah, I guess I could like float it out to the Great Lakes, but let's just leave it there and let them auction it off. Because last year they sent me a list of all the boats that are for auction that had been abandoned for the season. So a lot of people actually just leave the boats and abandon them.
Really?
Yeah, because you can't really always find a buyer. And, you know, I mean, maybe if I put it up for $1, maybe somebody would fucking take it. I could try it. But the thing is, why put it up for $1 and get rid of it now? Like, I'll just abandon it at the end of the season and enjoy the shit out of it, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I can.
Because next summer you don't want it.
No, because I'd have to keep paying these fucking fees. I'm done. I can't afford it. Like, it'll drain me.
And how much are you past due?
I don't know, like 1,500 probably, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, there's just no point continuing. Like, it's a great location, but I mean, it would be really nice if I could actually fucking sail it, you know, and you could actually enjoy it. You know, I have to find somebody, but I'm done with the money. Like, that's it. Like, fuck, you know, say la vie. Who gives a shit? Like, I've already maxed it out, and so you know, I'd rather have money for food. Food, the gym, my car is more important than the boat. You know, like, dude, not having a car would be brutal. I mean, like, I wouldn't even be able to get to the gym. You know, let alone any other places of importance.
Is there a gym that's close enough to walk or no?
No, not really. There's a municipal gym. I've been meaning to look at it. It's like a Chicago Park District gym, but I haven't. I need to go over there. But that one would be within walking distance. But LA Fitness is not. But man, I mean, I like the LA Fitness. Like the equipment, everything works. Everything's great. It's beautiful people there. You know, it's a good spot. And they got food. They got Chipotle. They got a couple other restaurants. It's like, thank God it's close by.
And what about converting, you know, one of your apartments into a gym?
Yeah, I did that in the first floor. I put down all these rubber mats and everything. So the wood flooring is all covered, and like I've got my weights down there. Yoga mats. It's like a good place to work out.
And how about getting like a treadmill or something?
Probably not, dude. This house is fucking 100 years old, and to like run on a fucking treadmill would like fucking probably fall through the fucking ceiling. Light downstairs crashed through the wall. It was so fucking heavy. I'm just like, I can't believe they mounted this thing. It weighs like, 50 pounds. Everything is old and needs updating and replacement, you know. But you'll see. I'm sure when your rent goes to $1,800 a month and you're like, hey, can I rent one of your places? I'll be like, yeah, come and experience 100 years of construction. Fucking, you hear the plaster in the wall falling all the time. You're like, Jesus. But let's hang out. I mean, come to the beach, or I'll take the blue line down and like let's do Lifetime if you can get a pool pass.
Okay.
And let's try to like, I mean, I don't know, like I guess we dodged a bullet with the nightclub with Andrew, but how's your parents and your brother doing?
They're good. They renovated their whole new place, and they're today is a big moving day of all the new furniture and things like that. And then Wednesday is when all of their stuff from the old house shows up.
Is your brother ever gonna come to Chicago?
Maybe, I don't know, but for the most part, he's staying down there. I know his girlfriend didn't get the job that she wanted at Boston Consulting Group in Nashville. and now I was looking at other jobs in like Austin and I don't know what other cities around the country. And she's like, "So Jack, are you like, are you moving with me?" So I know he's stressed about that because his intention is to stay in Nashville.
Yeah. Well, he'll know what to do. His intuition will tell him what to do. If she leaves town.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. Well, have a great day, and try to read 10 minutes of Tanya. You'll be amazed.
Okay.
Okay, take care. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, you too, bye.
Bye.
Everybody knows that. We don't want to need that. But he is. Should we care? Well, no, I know. But I just want to make sure that anybody who's listening to it on YouTube knows that he's a really horrible, off-the-giving ding. He claims to be a veteran. He's not a veteran. He's actually a convicted felon. Under Trump, which it's about 3,000.
And like he said here, he wasn't going after the farmers that do our fruits and vegetables, but they've already been impacted. They're gone.
But y'all Cali though, right? So he's gonna have a special hard on for anything in Cali. So
That's a good point.
So there's a couple more things in the news. I'd like to wrap up work, but did y'all know about a firebombing attack that happened a couple months ago in Boulder, Colorado? The person, one of the people, victim of the Boulder bombing attack dies. She died today. One of the victims, an 82-year-old woman wounded in a Boulder, Colorado firebombing attack on marchers who had gathered in early June to support Israeli hostages, had died of her injuries, prosecutors announced on Monday. That turned the crime into a possible death penalty against the Egyptian man charged with the attack after the authorities say he shouted pro-Palestinian slogans as he threw Molotov cocktails into the crowd. Many called the attack an act of anti-Semitism. So, do you remember that happened? There's so much incidences, but I feel like we talked about it a couple months ago. But Ms. Diamond was part of a group of marchers who had been walking down the outdoor pedestrian Pearl Street Mall in Boulder as part of the Run for Their Lives, which walks in support of Israeli hostages who had been held in Gaza since October 7, 2023, attack on Hamas. In a social media post, the group called her death a heavy and heartbreaking moment. I'm not going to repeat what the defendant said, but you could imagine. Yeah, I'm going to skip over what he said. 13 people were physically injured in the attack, including 8 who were sent to the hospital with burns and other injuries. The Boulder District Attorney's Office said on Monday that it had identified a total of 29 victims from the attack. So that was an attack that happened in March of this year. And I guess because one of the victims died, as she was wounded and she finally died, they can now go after the death penalty. So that was part of the firebombing attack. And then, of course, we have that other attack. Does anyone have updates with the whole fire situation? I heard one person died. But I don't know
that was and now they're saying that the fire was intentionally started. Do y'all know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it was intentionally started, and then the person who did it all self-terminated.
Oh, I see. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, we found them last night.
Okay. Well, we're late because I didn't know that. Thank you.
And the same membership program, like a gym membership program. The comfort in their lives and tax revenue everybody knows that. We don't want to
Quiet.
everybody knows that. We don't want to need that. But he is
I am blocked from Comrade's room, so I don't know what it's called.
Right here. Oh, I can see it. Well, I can see it. I don't know if you guys will. Democrats choose money or democracy.
Also, fuck what I'm saying. I don't even.
Oh, that's a good one. So, to your question, are you okay?
No, I'm tired. It's been a long day.
All right. So, to your question, I mean, it was also a pre-Voting Rights Act. So, I don't know and also, companies would not have had the kind of money that they have now to spend. I mean, we're talking billions now. I mean, capitalism is kind of a different thing. We didn't have income inequality, didn't have people with that kind of money. So I don't think it has any bearing on it at all.
So I think
Also, the person that raises the most money doesn't always win the election. At some point, Bernie Sanders will have to grapple with that, but he refuses to. So.
Okay,
I don't think they throw all that money there with
was outspent 10-1 for her primary, and she won.
I don't think the argument is that, or at least my argument. I mean, Bernie's might be a different argument. Maybe Mondani, though I haven't seen him make the same argument. He might have. My argument isn't that a candidate who doesn't have big donors can't win in a climate where big donors exist. It's how much does all of this money from corporate interests affect legislators' ability to make decisions based entirely on what the constituency wants. And to the extent that the economy was different, wealth inequality was different during the civil rights era, I can concede that point. But in this era, if there needed to be sweeping national legislation toward an interest, how much is that burdened by the existence of corporate lobbyists, donors, and PACs? And I'll be honest, that's the limits of my intelligence on the matter because I haven't done a deep dive on it, but I don't think somebody's stupid for wondering that, unless y'all do. Do y'all think that's a dumb thought? Because you guys are the arbiters on what's stupid in here.
Are you saying if Citizens United passed then, or if the Civil Rights Act was up now?
I said the literal question was, could the Civil Rights Act pass in a post-Citizens United era?
Today, in other words. I think
that's what that would sound like to me. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Speaking with shit.
Today, I think that's happening.
I'll take this silence as enough for me to go back off stage. Quit talking down to people. I'll leave now.
Don't be so sensitive.
Oh, I'm gonna be sensitive. I'm a leftist. That's what I do now.
Uh-oh. Leftist tears.
Holder be a worse decision than Citizens United? I think they're either tied or maybe Holder is worse.
I think Bernie has a knee-jerk socialist reaction. Like, you just push a button. He's always said the same stuff. I think he just wasn't thinking.
I mean, you only care about Shelby County v. Holder if you care about black people, Philip. So.
Yeah, I was entertaining the recency argument if we accept that, right? Like from the recent laws. Holder is recent, and like the quantitative impacts of it, I think, are worse than Citizens United, because I don't know, I can't find any specific non-mixed impacts of Citizens United. I obviously don't.
Just to be clear,
yeah.
I don't defend Bernie's framing of Citizens United, but if the perspective as a legislator who admittedly hasn't passed very much policy in the first place, so maybe he's using this as an excuse, but if I'm going to be the biggest devil's advocate for Bernie, I think the argument is that all of the things we want Congress to do for American people is essentially kneecapped by the existence of Citizens United. I personally don't think it means Citizens United is worse than a bunch of decisions from the Supreme Court, including some recent ones. But I do believe that if your belief is you can't do things that help people through Congress and legislation because of Citizens United, you can come up with a sentence like, well,
DC, where you can no longer have an independent opinion. He said that's why he was retiring. What do you think of it? No, and then the squad disagreed with Pelosi on the infrastructure bill.
That's the best I can say. But I know y'all can't say that until Bill gets back, so let me know when Bill comes back. I'll ask him.
Everybody said it already. Like, seems you're in agreement.
I'm not in agreement. I don't think it's the worst decision that's ever been made by the Supreme Court. But I think if I held Bernie's perspective, I can see believing it that way. I just think when you're like a pure Marxist, pure socialist, you conflate race and class. You believe racial disparities are a consequence of class disparities. I'm too black to believe that. But I would also argue as like a black progressive that while I do want reparations, in terms of just strategy, I would want the country to move in a direction where it believes, generally speaking, that the government should supply resources for its people. And I think an environment where that happens is more likely to be one where you can legislate the government supplying resources for people it has robbed historically. So I just think you can get there without being a racist. But I do agree that leftism is too white, and maybe their inability to articulate things that way comes from that being too white.
Is it wrong to point?
No, I don't talk to Nazis, Norm. I'm not talking to a Nazi.
Well, that you never will, I hope.
I am right now. I'm already breaking my rule by talking to you. So.
No, Jews are not Nazis.
You're a baby-eating Nazi. I'm good on that.
I haven't had babies for years now.
You're bloodlusted and Nazi.
Because we can't make milk with
I'm not
meat.
going. Labor for Go Notice. They're your blacks. Go Notice, they're your blacks.
So
I'm not your black.
Yes.
Thank you. One of those other blacks that love you so much.
You would have to elevate your tone to be
Nope, I'm not your black.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I agree. So is it fair to point out that Citizens United enabled Planned Parenthood to advocate for itself much more vigorously?
Only someone less Nazi asked that question. It'd be an interesting one to try to ponder.
That would be like comparing you to somebody that harmed black people.
Do it.
No, I don't.
All right.
Because I'm not you. I don't.
The Nazis are a shrewd people. Nazis are a shrewd people. You know?
Yes, And so are morons. Shrewd morons.
It's okay.
It is okay.
I'm good.
You're not good, and that's your problem.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't gleefully take joy in the vaporizing of babies in their bedrooms. So maybe I'm not good, but I'm at least better than you.
Yeah. And I have never done that. And
Yes, you
lying.
have. Yes, you have.
Lying does
Yes,
not
you have.
strengthen
Yes,
your
you have,
argument.
Norm.
No, I have
You're
not.
bloodlusted Nazi. I'm good.
Yeah. You are lying scum.
I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
you
still
are.
not. That's still not as bad as a Nazi. I'm sorry.
Well, if you lie about Nazis, then you're lying scum twice, right?
No, you're a Nazi.
Yeah. And then if it's a Jew, it's 3 times. So you're racking
No,
them up
there's
now.
way too many Jews that aren't Nazis.
Ridiculous
Yeah, there goes. Nice try. Nice try.
Uh-huh.
I love Jews.
Right? For what? For breakfast?
No, that's
For
what
dinner?
Jews love Palestinians.
When do you like to eat them?
No, I like my bagels
When do you like to
untoasted.
earn them?
I like my bagels untoasted.
When do you like to call for
It's a lot.
genocide against Jews? What time of day is best for you?
I would never support genocide against Jews.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Okay. You want to globalize the Intifada?
I don't know what that means.
You know what the
You
word
wanna tell me what that
globalize means?
I know what globalized means. What is intifada?
Okay. Do you know what Intifada is?
Explain it to me.
Yeah, it was a mass movement of slaughtering Jews in cafes, pizza places, and discotheques, and on buses with
If I make
suicide bombs.
If I make a country
Now,
that
are
is,
you in favor of it, or are you against it? Now
do
you know what
do
it
you
is.
mind if I answer your question with a question?
No,
Do you mind if I answer your question with a question?
I do
or you
mind,
gonna?
yes, I do
You
mind.
mind, is it okay if I answer your
So
question?
now that you know what it is, for it or against it,
Is it okay if I answer your question with a question?
and then which one of us is the Nazi?
Is it okay if I answer your
Make
question
it
with a
like
question?
that.
Is it okay if I answer your question with a question?
No, why would you want to dance away from a
Oh,
straightforward
surprise, surprise. The Nazi wants to control the rules of engagement.
Not
I guess we can't do
controlling.
this.
No, I asked you a
I
question.
guess we can't do this. I just
If
asked
you can't answer,
fairly.
say, I don't know. You don't know.
I do know, but I'm gonna use my own words the way I
What's
like.
the answer?
Sorry.
Okay,
You
use
don't
your own
have
words.
you don't have me in a concentration camp. You don't get to tell me how to interact.
No.
So if you
No.
don't want to interact,
And
you don't
you don't have me. You don't have me in
wanna
the
interact,
pizza
Norm.
place
We
with
don't
the
have to.
suicide vest.
If you
So what reason?
handle
I
fair
can
rules
handle
of
anything.
engagement, Norm, I'm not surprised, but
I can
I will
handle
have to ask you yes.
anything. I
If you
can.
can't, then
I can
let me answer the
handle. I
question
can handle
without answering.
genocide. I can
Then you
handle
would let me
terrorist
answer the
attacks.
question without.
I can handle a war. I'm waiting for you to. The whole
You
room
gotta
is.
promise to be quiet for 30 seconds.
I don't promise you anything.
But then I don't promise you to answer your question.
Okay, good. Then you've answered it.
Yeah, you're not
Next
eating
question.
babies, and I don't respect you. So
Not interested.
you've proven your inability
Not
to
interested.
meet on fair terms. Not
I
surprising.
doubt that you're capable.
You're
of
a Zionist.
I am indeed a Zionist. We're
Yeah, no, that's why you can't handle fair
That's
rules of engagement.
I
in
believe in
conversation.
self-determination
let alone
of
foreign
the Jewish
policy.
people.
Okay.
And here's a
okay, so
startling
if I
thing.
believe in a
Yeah.
nation for black people, and we start
Yes.
vaporizing babies next door, is it
Right.
racist to be against vaporizing babies because the black people are doing it, or are you just articulating disinterest and opposition to what
It's
is
stupid to pose
manifestly war
bullshit
crimes?
questions like that. Hypotheticals.
Oh, that's a hypothetical. I'll give you
It
another
is.
one. If I named a country right
So
next
yes
to
or
Israel
no?
called,
Globalize the Intifada?
if I named a country
Yes,
right
yes
next,
or
if,
no?
if I created a country right
Yes
next to
or no,
Israel,
Mr.
and I
Edith?
named it Black American Blackistan,
Yeah.
and out of nowhere they just started blowing up Israelis and their babies in the middle
Why
of the
would you
home.
do that?
Would your criticism of that be
Why
anti-black, or
would
would
you do
just
such
be,
a violent, sick thing?
That's what I agree. I think blowing up babies is violent, and sick.
Right. Unfortunately, nobody does that.
Fortunately for you, Negroes tolerate you here more than I do. But I'm outnumbered. You can have the last word.
You're also,
I don't want to talk to you.
You're also outbrained.
Okay, not by you though.
Andrew,
And let's be fair,
you don't
Nazis
need
were
to be
very
outbrained
smart. We
by me.
wouldn't have gotten to space without the Nazis, but it doesn't mean that they were good people.
You wouldn't have gotten a space without the
We
Nazis.
wouldn't have gotten to space without the Nazis. I didn't say you were dumb. I said you were
Which
evil.
Nazi?
I said you were evil.
Which Nazi?
Many. It's called Operation Paper.
So you don't
Many
know.
Nazis.
Okay,
Many.
You don't know. You don't
Many.
know. There's
Many
two
Nazis.
things you don't know.
Many Nazis were working for NASA. Do you need to go through a list?
Which one? No.
I don't know off the top of my head.
Now we're
Am I
talking
lying?
about the man in the moon.
I'll put money on it.
Now you're talking about the man in the moon.
All right. Listen, I'm talking about the man on the stage.
So globalize the Intifada now that you know what it means?
You didn't say what it means.
I beg your pardon, I did.
You didn't say what Intifada means.
No, you said you knew what global... I did too. I told you it was a wave of genocidal suicide attacks on Jews.
That's not what it means.
Israel.
That's not what it means.
Oh, then why did you ask?
We get back to
I asked you what it means. You want to read the definition?
United.
I just told you what it was.
I asked you what it means. You want to read the definition?
Yes.
What's
Yes.
the definition of intifada?
I just told you. When you
That's
were
not
the
a
third time,
That's
sure
not a
it is.
definition. You
It's
didn't
exactly
use
what it was.
What does
Hard
it
to
mean?
hear, isn't it? Hard to
I
hear.
heard you. I heard you.
Yeah.
I heard you clearly.
Blowing up Jews in buses,
I don't know, man. My
discotheques,
Google's saying something
pizza
different.
places, and cafes.
My Google is saying something different. It doesn't seem
Oh
to say
yeah.
that.
I
No,
can't
it
help
doesn't
you
say
with your broken Google.
So,
Your broken
so from
brain.
what I'm reading, intifada means a shaking off,
Yeah.
uprising.
Right.
It has
And
been
what is the intifada?
I didn't say the intifada. You said, am I against the phrase globalized intifada? And I asked you what it means, and you never used
the
it.
intifada.
What?
Globalize the intifada.
Yeah, so what does it mean?
I just told you. It means blowing up Israelis in buses, cafes, discotheques, coffee shops. That's what it was.
So was it an intifada when, like, South African anti-apartheidists were blowing up restaurants?
South African anti-apartheidists. No,
It wasn't intifada. They weren't shaking things off at the time?
no, of course
Okay.
not. No, the intifada was known by the name.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Go, I know you're melting a face, but no, that is true.
I'm melting
Like, the vast
a
majority of
face.
people that died were
I meant-
citizens. It's just, you know, they're a true story uncomfortable.
Melting a face?
I don't support terrorism, Norm. You should know that.
It sounds like you do.
No, I just didn't know. I just didn't think you knew what intifada meant. It doesn't seem like you do.
I said the intifada. Maybe your hearing is lousy? Or,
The intifada doesn't. I'm
globalize the intifada.
So it's uppercase D.
Yes. The intifada, like the Holocaust.
Okay, so I'm gonna Google it again.
Or the transatlantic slave.
Okay, so you gotta tell me if this is wrong.
Okay.
The Intifada refers to Palestinian uprisings against the Israel occupation of the West Bank and Gaza. The word itself is derived from Arabic meaning shaking off or uprising. Do you disagree with me or agree with me on that definition?
I think you're evading what the intifada is and what.
How am I evading it when I'm reading it to you what Google tells me? Is Google fucking pro-Palestinian propagandist?
I think you're avoiding what the intifada is and was.
I think you're saying what it means.
I just told you what it is, and now you're lying to yourself because I caught you advocating for genocide.
Oh no, I definitely wasn't doing
against the Jews.
anything. I definitely wasn't a Socratic method at all.
Yes.
I just didn't know what it means.
And now because you were caught, you're trying to
I definitely didn't know what
pretend that words don't mean what they mean.
I just read what the word
of words.
I not only read what it means, I read what it's defined as, and then what it means. Anyway, like I said, Norm, I'm not one of your blocks. We can stop here.
I don't know. I don't have any of what you're saying.
We can stop here, Norm. I'm good.
I wish you would, because you're embarrassing yourself and anybody.
You want the last word?
No, I don't need anything from you.
But then I can stop here. Then we can stop here. Then.
Okay, you can stop here. Go
You want
bye
the last
bye.
word, Norm?
Go take off.
You want the last word, Norm?
Yeah, I've got a curious question for myself. Is citizens, like, taking Bernie's recency argument for a minute, is Holden worse decision than Citizens United? And I'm trying to find studies. Like, Citizens United doesn't have any significant good studies on political bias, but they are on Holden. I don't know, Holden might be worse than Citizens United. And I don't mean just for black people, that's obviously right. I mean, generally for Democrats.
So I use Google. It's funny, I got a different result. Shooting attacks, stone throwing, rocket attacks, and suicide bombings.
Screenshot your question, put it in the
prominent
PTR.
feature.
Screenshot your question, put it in the PTR.
Became a prominent feature.
I'll do a picture right now, Norm.
Primarily targeting Israeli civilians.
No. Screenshot your question, put it in the PTR.
Huh?
Screenshot your question.
You want to?
Yeah,
You want
I want to see what you
overtalk
asked
me?
Google. I
Are
want to see
you
what you
embarrassed? Are you
No,
embarrassed?
why would I be embarrassed? Here, I'm gonna picture
Okay.
what I put in.
Okay, so are you in favor of what I just read you, or against it?
I'd have to see what you asked Google.
So are you in favor of what I just read you, or against it?
Read it again.
Widespread attacks on Israeli citizens. shooting attacks, stone throwing, rocket attacks, and suicide bombings.
I'm agnostic.
Primarily targeting Israeli civilians.
I'm
Where
agnostic
did
to
the
that.
suicide? I beg your pardon.
I'm agnostic to that.
So you're okay with it?
No, that's not what
That's what agnostic means.
No, it just means I'm indifferent. I don't have an
You
opinion.
don't care. You don't care when Jews are genocided.
Well, that's not true. I definitely love the Holocaust.
I just read you.
My dad took me to the Holocaust Museum 3 times in my life.
Yes. Did he leave you there?
Yeah, we spent hours there each time.
He should have left you there.